Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Tech Beans, and this is the camera comparison between the Xiaomi Mi 8 and the Xiaomi Mi 6X. Now this is just going to be a quick comparison between these two phones. It's not going to be as in-depth as the Mi 8 SE versus the Mi 6X. Now the Mi 6X is actually one of the best camera phones that Xiaomi has in its lineup for this year. I'm kind of curious if the Mi 6X actually can hold a candle on a flagship such as the Mi 8. Now right here are the specs. It looks like the Mi 6X is going all out with Sony sensors here, while the Mi 8 is using a combination of Sony and Samsung sensors. And from the looks of it, the Mi 6X actually has better numbers here. But yeah, let's just see how this turns out in the actual pictures and videos. But before we start guys, I have some good news for all of you. I'm going to be doing a giveaway. Yes, my friends, we are on the road to 10,000 subscribers already, and I'm going to be giving away this really nice Redmi Note 5 AI to one lucky subscriber. Now, all you need to do to get a chance to win this is to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any of my great content. Yes, there's so much excitement going on my channel right now. And yes, without further ado, let's just get on with the matchup. Let the battle begin!
No.
Okay, here we go. So what I'm seeing right now is that the Mi 6X here is actually much more detailed in comparison to the Mi 8. As you can see here on the Mi 6X, the wood is actually showing more details on these parts right here. And it's kind of faded here on the Mi 8. And as you can see on the background right here, it's quite soft on the Mi 8. While on the Mi 6X, it still remains sharp. Okay, here's another picture of wood. And as you can see, the Mi 6X still retains a lot of detail compared to the Mi 8. Now in my opinion, the Mi 8 is actually a little bit better in comparison because the colors are better. It's a lot punchier. It's a lot more pleasing to the eye. While the Mi 6X looks kind of ordinary. Well, that's the thing. Here's another picture. Now the Mi 6X is actually going to capture the real life representation of the subject, while on the Mi 8, it's always going to be looking brand new. Now here's a practical use of HDR, and as you can see on her face on the Mi 8 is actually well exposed. And her face on the Mi 6X is kind of dark and shadowy. And you can also see that the lake on the Mi 8 is actually much clearer than on the Mi 6X. Now this is something I noticed on the Mi 8 and the Mi 8 SE as well. They have some exceptional HDR capabilities. No matter how bad the lighting is, it's able to get the job done. All you need to do is just turn on the HDR and you're good to go. And you're also gonna get some more detail as well. As you can see, the sky and the floor is much more detailed on the Mi 8. Now the crazy thing is, I haven't even activated AI yet, but you really don't have to because all it does is oversaturate the picture, which is already saturated in the first place. So yeah, you don't really need to anymore. Now coming into Bouquet, both are actually similar. The blurring is not going to be perfect. It's going to blur some parts that should not be blurred out. Well, speaking of blurring, let me just blur this part right here. Ooh, that's too much. Too much detail there. Alright, okay. Now the bokeh on the Mi 6X is actually much more prominent. The blurring is much more intensified compared to the Mi 8. The Mi 8 just doesn't have that much blurring to it. Now coming into low light, the Mi 6X will be okay if it has some decent lighting to it. Now starting with the Mi 8 and the Mi 8 SE, the low light performance on Xiaomi phones has drastically changed. Now every other phone before the Mi 6X actually struggled in low light, and it's the Mi 8 and the Mi 8 SE who are actually changing the game here. Both the phones look really different from their predecessors. You can actually see that in this low light test right here. Now coming into the selfies, the Mi 8 SE for me is actually the better selfie picture. The smoothing on the Mi 6X is actually too much even though it's only on default. Now the selfies that I'm seeing on the Mi 6X and the Mi 8 are actually pretty good. Beautification is very minimal and the subjects look very natural. So yeah, thumbs up for the selfie for both. Alright, it's now video test time, and from what I'm seeing from both, they actually have EIS. But the thing is, the Mi 6X actually has a very flawed EIS. There's a little bit of shake and jitter on the Mi 6X, while on the Mi 8 it really remains really smooth. As you can see, as I pan around, you can see there's a little bit of jitter there on the Mi 6X. But yeah, this is one of the best EIS performance I have ever seen on a smartphone. Well, at least on the Mi 8 that is. Yep, coming on to the 4K videos, and it looks like the Mi 8 and the Mi 6X just lost their image stabilization. On the Mi 8, I think there's still some there, but on the Mi 6X, it completely disappeared. It's just really shaky there on the Mi 6X. And finally, we have the selfie low light video test, and for me, the Mi 8 here is much better exposed. And yes, that is actually pretty much it for this camera comparison between the Mi 8 and the Mi 6X. Both are just terrific cameras. It's all gonna depend on you now and what look you're gonna go for, because for me, I'm just gonna tell you what the camera can do and what are the limitations it can have, but overall it's gonna be up to you on which look you really do prefer. And yep, up next guys, I'm gonna be unboxing the Mi 6X Hatsune Miku limited edition. So if you're into that, why don't you just subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss that unboxing video. And yeah, that's it for me for this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.